Ladies and gentlemen, information of special global interest this afternoon is the large-scale U.S. attack deep inside Venezuelan territory.
US's sovereign nation and the arrest of the country's president.
The attack follows weeks of President Donald Trump continuously increasing pressure on Caracas, including expanding sanctions
and increasing U.S. military presence in the region. The capital Caracas was shaken by a series of explosions early this morning local time.
The Venezuelan government declared the attacks targeted not only the capital, but also occurred in other states such as Miranda, Aragua, and La Guaira,
affecting both military and civilian sectors. Many areas in Caracas experienced disruptions to electricity and telecommunications services.
Venezuela has declared a state of emergency nationwide to prepare for a war scenario.
Writing on social network Truth Social, President Donald Trump announced that the U.S. had conducted a large-scale attack against Venezuela and its leadership. President Nicolás Maduro and his wife were arrested and taken out of the country.
U.S. Senator Mike Lee stated that the country has completed military action in Venezuela. We achieved our objectives with minimal loss of life.
On social network X, Mr. Lee cited Secretary of State Marco Rubio affirming that the U.S. may not conduct further military actions in Venezuela.
With President Maduro detained, Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Lenda stated that the U.S. will put Venezuelan President Maduro on trial.
Speaking by phone on Venezuelan television, Vice President Delcy Rodríguez stated the government does not know the whereabouts of President Maduro and his wife following the series of U.S. attacks on Caracas, while simultaneously demanding the U.S. provide evidence that President Maduro is still alive. CNN sources cited that the U.S. Senate Armed Services Committee was not notified in advance about the possibility of U.S. military attacks on Venezuela.
Detailed information about this military campaign will be updated at President Donald Trump's press conference, scheduled at Mar-a-Lago, Florida, at 11 a.m. local time.
Following the incident, the Venezuelan government issued a statement strongly condemning the U.S. attack on the country.
The statement said the administration ordered the deployment of the National Comprehensive Defense Command, activating a mechanism combining.
On the diplomatic front, Venezuela announced it will invoke Article 51 of the UN Charter to exercise its legitimate right to self-defense.
And bring the accusations to the UN Security Council, the community of Latin American and Caribbean states, and the non-aligned movement.
In an official statement, Venezuela affirmed it rejects, condemns, and denounces to the international community the extremely serious military action
carried out by the U.S. We demand respect for Venezuela's international rights.
To reestablish order and peace, we will activate defense protocols across the entire geographical space of the country.
With close coordination between military forces, police, and the people, we have deployed all defensive systems on a large scale.
Caracas warns the attack not only threatens international peace, but also places Latin America and the Caribbean at risk of serious.
Venezuela argues the true goal of the attack is to seize strategic resources, particularly oil and minerals, to break the nation's political independence.
The government emphasized that after over 200 years of independence, the people and legal authority will continue to steadfastly defend.
In recent months, the U.S. has deployed its largest naval force in the Caribbean and Western Atlantic since the Cold War.
And this latest U.S. military action has met with opposition from many countries around the world.
On social network X, Colombian President Gustavo Petro declared that Caracas had been attacked by missiles.
He called for an urgent meeting of the UN Security Council and requested the Organization of American States to intervene immediately.
The same day, Cuban President Miguel Díaz-Canel condemned what he called an illegal U.S. attack on Venezuela, urging an immediate international response.
The Russian Foreign Ministry issued a statement today declaring that the U.S. has carried out an act of armed aggression against Venezuela,
describing this as a deeply concerning and unacceptable development.
According to the Russian side, the reasons given to justify this military action are baseless. reflecting ideological hostility.
In its response, Iran described the U.S. military attack on Venezuela as a violation of national sovereignty and territorial integrity of Venezuela.
Regarding the situation of Vietnamese citizens in Venezuela, Vietnamese ambassador to Venezuela Vu Trung My confirmed that to date,
related to the nationwide state of emergency declared in Venezuela following the explosions that occurred during the night.
representatives of Vietnamese airlines with international routes such as Vietnam Airlines and Vietjet,
both stated that flight operations are still proceeding normally.
Vietnam Airlines and Vietjet currently do not have direct flights to Venezuela
or any flight paths passing through this country's airspace.
To recap the main story, tensions remain extremely high following the U.S. military action and the detention of the Venezuelan leadership. We will continue to monitor the situation closely and provide updates as new information becomes available. Please stay tuned for further reports. Thank you for watching this special bulletin. Have a safe day. Goodbye.